Okay, welcome again. This is kind of part 2 of our series with Ben Dickinson, our newest member of Leading Edge Financial Planning. I mean, last time we talked a little bit about, just kind of money habits. And I think one of the lessons that I took away from your talk was you got to kind of have a plan. Sit down and spend 30 seconds thinking about what it's going to be like when you get to college and they offer you a credit card. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you graduate college and you get your first paycheck? 30 seconds to a minute discussing, talking, thinking about that before it actually happens is kind of my takeaway from your talk.
Yeah, definitely. When one thing for me, when I looked at is saving important? Why would that even be important to me? I definitely did not think it was important. I didn't think, retirement. I didn't think about any of that growing up. And when I got my first paycheck, I was just happy to spend it immediately. And but one thing that I experienced was when you do start out trying to be financially independent, you can catch yourself between paychecks and paying bills. Yeah. And if you don't have any savings to fall back on, you're gonna have to call mom and dad. That's You're gonna have to take out a credit card, whatever it might be. Ooh, saving is important. Saving will become a reality, and the importance of it. Mm-hmm. So to make it important, I think for young people would be to say, hey, what are you gonna do in your life? Where are you gonna be in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? You might not know that specific detail, but think about. I know for me, a way to think about that was things that I wanted, goals that I had financially. I wanted the new car. I wanted a nice house and a beach house and everything like that. But so things like that can help you say, okay, well, if this is what you want in your life, how can you get there? And, you are going to have expenses one day. Mm-hmm. So think about that. How much are you going to be able to save? How much are you going to have to save?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, one of the things, Ben, that we talked about before going on here is that retirement is different now. So what does retirement mean to you? When I say retirement or somebody says, hey, you're going to retire, what does that mean to you? Is it kind of still, it could be still in traditional sense, maybe not. What do you think?
Yeah, I think for most people my age, including myself, we have a hard time kind of conceptualizing retirement. Like that's so long down the road. I know. I can save later. I'll worry about that later. Yeah. But one thing that I think really set my mind to get to retirement is the fact that kids don't like working in general. Yeah. So people like my age. So I think when you think about, hey, how early, what age do you want to never have to work again? Yeah. Things like that. How are you gonna not have to work? Yeah. So that can kind of definitely help people think about it. Make your kids get a job, and then they'll realize really quickly how important retirement is.
Yeah, so. That's awesome. And I think you're right. I mean, sometimes we start out in our careers and maybe we don't like our job, we're not satisfied with it or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of like now, people are changing jobs. The economy's changed. I think the average person on a job now is 3 to 5 years. Right. It's crazy. Right. It used to be 20, 30 years on the assembly line. You got a good pension, you got a good retirement. That technology is gone. Mm-hmm. The economy is different structurally in that regard. Absolutely. So I think as a young person, the thought process should be, hey, at some point, maybe in my early 30s, mid 30s, early 40s, in fact, Kevin and I did this same thing. Mm-hmm. We did this. We're going to change careers. We're going to realize that, hey, we've done that, been there, done that, and we enjoyed it, but we want to change. And that takes money.
Absolutely.
To make a midlife career change to something that maybe you're passionate about, like Kevin and I, and we're both realized in our mid-careers that we're passionate about personal finance and investing. You can't just make that change unless you've got something saved up and you're prepared for that. So it's almost now as if you got to save money for the change and retirement. So it's a little bit more complex, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, we are going to change jobs more frequently. Unfortunately, retirement isn't going to necessarily handle itself like it may have in the past. Yeah. Right. And so prepare yourself for that and looking ahead and thinking about the fact that, one day I may want to start my own business. Right. I may want to go out on my own. I may want to change careers. And the most important thing with starting a new business is having capital, having the money to do that. And so if your kid says, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to start my own business, something like that, well, that's going to be your challenge is getting money, and especially changing jobs often. It's not going to just be simple for you, and so even more so, it's more important, I think, for kids my age to realize how retirement is something that you need to get ahead of, and saving for it. It's going to be important. Saving your money in general is going to be important. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben, we'll wrap up kind of with summarizing, I think, what you're saying and what we've talked about today is like young people need to save early, and maybe not just, or not necessarily for retirement, but for freedom. Mm-hmm. Even before retirement, for freedom to change jobs, freedom to start your own business, freedom to make a choice and not somebody else making a choice for you, saying you will stay in this job for 30 years whether you like it or not, because you don't have any money saved and you're in debt, so you have to.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of my takeaway of listening to you talk and as well as my own experience. So
absolutely.
I hope our young people can think about that, and like you talked about at the very beginning, take a few minutes to think a little bit ahead. You don't have to write a big plan, although writing down, there's probably value in that too. But anyway, so we hope this has been helpful. Please reach out. We love to hear from you. Check us out at leadingedgeplanning.com.
Yep.
And we're on Facebook and LinkedIn, so we'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.